Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BioNexus Health Podcast series. Today, we will be speaking to a remarkable young lady who has been through a lot in her young life. She is in her early 20s, and she has been dealing with Lyme disease, Bartonella, other co-infections, biotoxin illness, mold exposure, seizures. What else? She has had gut issues, tremendous amount of gut issues, vertigo, dizziness, bronchitis, pneumonia, has been quite debilitated for a while. She tried everything she possibly could, modern medicine as well. And we shall hear from her today what brought her to a completely plant-based approach. And I'm sure it will be quite insightful. So welcome, Erica, to today's podcast.
Welcome to the BioNexus Health Podcast with Dr. Jodie A. Dashore, who holds a PhD in integrative medicine, is board certified in integrative pediatrics, an internationally recognized pioneering clinician, and author. And now here's your host of BioNexus Health Podcast, Dr. Jodie A. Dashore.
Hey, Erica, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Good to see you smiling. So, but ready for the blizzard today?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's there's not much snow on the ground yet, but I'm waiting for it.
It hasn't snowed. Well, I'm in Monmouth County, so we are expecting like a foot apparently. So.
Oh geez. Yeah, I should probably go grocery shopping after this.
But you're going to go grocery shopping now? Well, people are storming the stores, so good luck with that.
I know. I probably missed everything. I'll just have to eat canned food for a little while.
No, not after all the changes you've made. I mean, it's so weird, right? It's probably going to open up in like a day or so, right? And people always act as if it's the apocalypse. It's just a blizzard.
I know. People always storm. They always really get over emotional about it.
I know, right? How much are you going to consume in like a couple days? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
know.
funny. Well, I guess last year's winter wasn't so severe. This year's winter, we're like really feeling the cold.
Yeah, I know. Gotta stay inside.
Exactly.
Or move to Florida. Either or.
Well, speaking of Florida and moisture and mold, today I'm very appreciative that you're here today to talk about your journey with everything that you've had to deal with, at such a young age. And I'm sure it'll be inspirational and encouraging to many watching. So would you mind telling us how you started your journey in brief, and then what brought you to BioNexus Health?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure I'll miss a lot of parts of it because I feel like so much happened. But at the end of college for me, I just started not feeling well. I wasn't able to really even walk down the street without getting this severe chest pain. I couldn't think clearly. I went from being this really athletic individual who was good at school and could just learn anything very easily to not being able to focus and not being able to be athletic. So my whole identity was pretty much just went out the door. And from there, I just went to doctor after doctor after doctor, gastro, neurologist, everything like that. And ear, nose, and throat doctor. I got diagnosed with all these different things. And I just felt like every time I went to another doctor, they either, not saying that it was a bad thing, I just felt like every time it would kind of either make it worse or not help or tell me I was confined to this condition for the rest of my life. And I just started looking to natural means for solutions because I started reading about, oh, well, you might not actually have this disease for your life. It's just the fact that natural medicine say they can treat it and conventional says they can't. So of course I looked to natural medicine, and my mom actually was the one who found you. I guess she was just intuitive in the way of saying, I had gotten tested for Lyme disease in the past, but my mom's like, you should just go and see Dr. Dashore. And then after I saw you, you confirmed that I had Lyme disease, mold. I'm sure there's a bunch of other things as well that I had, Marcons and all that stuff. So that really started my journey, I would say.
Okay.
Been a long ride.
I remember, yes. I remember, how you were when we first began going through a tremendous amount of stuff, but I put you on a customized, pretty difficult protocol, but it was all customized to you. And you were very sporting about it. You were sporting, you were quite diligent about taking all of your herbs and supplements. And yes, we were looking at biotoxin illness, Lyme disease, co-infections, gut issues, right? Yeast issues, UTI issues, I believe, if I recall correctly. And how are you? How did you progress once we started you on the herbal protocol? How did you progress after that? First of all, was it how challenging was the herbal protocol, and how did you progress? Did you experience any die-off reactions, or was it smooth sailing for you?
I don't know if I experienced die-off. I think maybe I had some weird effects from the charcoal I was taking at the time. I don't know. I'm not sure if I experienced die-off, because I felt like in the beginning there would be days where I had good days and bad days. Maybe that was the die-off. But yeah, I think the herbs are, it's nice that the herbs are, they're soft in your body. You're not taking like a harsh antibiotic or something else. It's kind of like a slow progression. So I would say it's a good steady way to make progress. That's probably healthier for the body.
You had tried antibiotics and regular medications as well, and I think you said some of those made you feel worse, actually.
Yeah, so I had when I saw the gastro doctor, he told me I had H. pylori at one point, and then gave me the triple antibiotic treatment for that. And I took it. I felt way worse. I got a bunch of vertigo. I couldn't think clearly, and the H. pylori didn't even go away. So that was the end of wanting to take antibiotics.
Oh, yes, I see. So there was a triple antibiotic treatment that made you feel worse, and your H. pylori didn't even go away. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a shame. All right. Well, we treated you for all of that. And can you describe system by system? Let's talk about your cognitive, your brain fog, your memory, your decision making, headaches, vertigo, dizziness. How did that improve?
Yeah, well, the brain fog, that was one of my biggest complaints for 3 years when I had it, because it was a long time. So that pretty much is gone. I don't really have the brain fog at all, which is my favorite thing. The vertigo is still I'm still doing it, so it's still improving. But I don't have the anxiety that I used to have. I'm trying to think what else. I think my body just feels more calm. I think I used to have problems sleeping too. I couldn't fall asleep at night. I can fall asleep normally now. So I've definitely made improvements, probably like 95% at this point.
Oh,
So,
that's wonderful. It's
yeah.
so nice to hear you, it's a Saturday, it's a dull, snowy day, and you made my day.
That's
I,
great.
I just love listening to stories, especially young people like yourself who have to unfortunately go through so much suffering because of misdiagnosis or lack of awareness, right? Because Lyme disease and co-infections are becoming more in focus, but as you discovered, that diagnosis can sometimes be an art. Even interpretation of the lab reports um, can be up for interpretation, so to speak, right? Can be challenging for many practitioners, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about your gut? What improvements have you seen with your digestion, your gut overall?
Yeah, I think in the past my gut was so bad I couldn't even eat meat, I would say, because it would almost feel like it was just sitting in my stomach. And then my face would kind of get swollen and I'd feel
Oh,
inflamed afterwards. Um, so now I can eat meat. I can even eat steak, which is nice. I don't really react to any kind of fibrous foods. So yeah, I think my gut is it's like dramatically better. I don't have many issues with it.
good. How about your energy levels? Energy levels have bounced up.
Yeah, energy's good. Energy's I don't yeah, I'm not tired during the day. I'm pretty steady. I don't drink coffee, which is nice. So I just go through the day, which honestly I like the fact that I don't drink coffee anymore because you don't crash. So it's been a good
Right.
change.
That's right. Yeah. So how much coffee did you need at one point?
I mean, I think in college I would be drinking it 1 to 2 times a day. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah, isn't that something? Because that's something that I remember as well when my Lyme disease came on like full force. And I
mhm,
wasn't aware at the time that I had, I also had chronic inflammatory response syndrome, just like you did with the mold
mhm,
exposure. And it was like almost like a couple of cups of black coffee a day just to get you functioning, right? Just to get you
mhm,
through the day. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I'm happy as well, not having to, not being dependent on coffee anymore. I mean, it's been years for me, but it really feels good not to depend on stimulants.
Mhm. Yeah, I think overall going through everything will make you a better person overall.
Yeah,
You just make
you're
these healthy improvements.
yeah, yeah, you're in your early 20s, and you should be having like a crazy amount of energy, right? You should be like the Energizer Bunny, and I hope you're on your on your way to that.
Yeah, I mean, I work a job where I'm sitting on a computer for 10 hours a day, so
Oh,
that kind of decreases energy a little bit, but the fact that I don't need coffee and everyone else does, I think is a good thing. Like I think that says
yeah,
something that I'm in a good state. So,
yes. One thing that I'm really proud of you is for your environmental awareness as well. You are very conscientious of what goes in your body, uh,
mhm,
including keeping the current global circumstances in mind. Enough said, right, about that. But I love the choices you've made, which are like super healthy for your recovery, as well
mhm,
as being mindful of environmental toxins anywhere you
mhm.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think changing the diet was a big one that
Hmm.
really helped. So, I'd recommend that.
Yeah. Is there anything that was life changing for you, or is there a little summarizing, encouraging statement that you could give us, which would help other young ladies or young men watching this?
Mhm. Yeah, I think I what I would say is don't take no for an answer. Which that's kind of been what I've noticed about myself. I've had maybe like I've had so many different doctors tell me things are wrong with me. And it's, if you just don't take no for an answer and you keep looking for solutions, I think you will find them and you will become healthier and better. There's always room for improvement. So it's not about becoming 100%, it's just becoming better. And there's so many options. So that would be my recommendation.
Very well said. Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit on your eating habits?
Yeah, I think what has made a really big difference for me, I noticed gluten was a really big one at first for the mind. When I ate gluten, I would feel like I was in this depressed state and it would last several days. So I pretty much cut out gluten, and that helped a lot for my like emotional wellness and mental wellness.
Right.
Secondly, I cut out dairy, which also helped a lot. But I realized now that I can eat dairy, it just has to be organic.
Okay.
So it's the whatever they put in conventional dairy, which I don't know, inflames me. So I would say those two are really big.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes,
Yeah.
conventional dairy is a no, a huge no.
Mhm.
Organic dairy, I usually discourage just milk, like, cow's milk, even if it's A2/A2 cows, like fully A2 Guernsey cows. I would still not recommend the milk per se, but cheeses and yogurts, like hard cheeses, those are fine. If I haven't told you, now you know, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, cheddar, Colby, these are fine, like pepper jack, that's fine as well. And yogurts, right? Now, when you make yogurt with A2 cow's milk, right? Organic A2 grass-fed, pastured.
Mhm.
These kind of yogurts need to be processed much longer. If you can process the yogurt for 24 hours, it is actually gets rid of any additional dietary triggers that you may have. And you don't really have to do any work. You just put it in the yogurt maker and just set it for 24 hours at like 100 degrees and you're all set.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah. Because I make homemade yogurt. I haven't started my kitchen series yet, but I will be doing some podcasts from directly from my kitchen, because many people have requested recipes and what do you eat in a day, etc. Which reminds me, yeah, can you talk about any other aspects of your diet? Are you
Mhm.
staying away from conventional? Are you staying mostly with organic?
Yeah, I pretty much try to eat organic like 90% of the time,
Okay.
as natural as possible. I like to stay away from any kinds of inflammatory oils. Those also I noticed affect my mind.
Right.
So eating like canola oil or vegetable oil, I just don't do that. But yeah, I mean, my diet, I try to follow the Mediterranean diet type of a thing, just because there's
Yes.
been a lot of research on it. So I
Yes.
try to eat like 7 to 9 cups of vegetables. So in order to do that in the morning, I'll have a smoothie every morning. And then for lunch, I'll try to add like 2 cups of vegetables, and then dinner, 2 cups. So, and then, yeah, I just try to eat as kind of paleo, but not entirely paleo, because not as much meat, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of along those lines.
Yes.
Give a,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about baked goods? Baked goods and desserts, what do you do?
I don't really eat those unless they are paleo.
Yes.
There are these paleo baked goods, which I like. So I'll eat those, or maybe I'll make like some kind of a date ball type of a thing with
Yes.
coconut or, but yeah, I definitely don't eat cupcakes. That's for sure.
Yeah. I remember making blueberry muffins that are completely paleo. So yes, paleo awareness with the breads and the baked goods is also increasing. It's on the rise. It's actually challenging to find organic paleo, but if you look hard enough, you will find good organic options. Because when the options are not organic, you have to be careful with the starches, the amount of starches that's added in there.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
that's one thing. Yeah, keep a lookout, especially those of us who recovered from gut issues, because mold exposure and tick-borne infections, Lyme disease, can cause a lot of inflammation in the gut. And that is, you have worked very hard to reverse that.
Mm-hmm.
So maintaining your diet is key to continued gut health, and like you also mentioned, the brain health as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what are your plans for the future?
Oh, geez. With my life, I don't know. I mean, I one day want to have I want to have businesses that can impact the world in some way. That's like
Wonderful.
my goal. I would love to in some way have like some kind of a health-based one, whether it's like a food product, I don't know, but just spreading awareness of health and I don't know, something along those lines. But for
Yes.
now, just working in corporate. So it's the current trajectory.
Well, it's wonderful to hear you say that. A lot of young people in my practice that have recovered want to help others.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Yeah,
by all
I feel like
means,
so many.
look me up. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I just feel like it's so many people just don't know that they have an option, and that's the most important thing, just to know that you have an option. So by being someone that can spread that awareness, I think it really can make a difference.
That's right. I couldn't agree more. Yes. So yes, well, what I was saying was, when you're ready, look me up, and I'm happy to mentor you if you need any mentoring.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be amazing.
All right, awesome. Well, listen, I won't keep you long, and I really appreciate you taking some time out on a Saturday for me. Right.
Yeah.
So go out there. Well, you can't go out there right now, I guess, because it's already snowing. But enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I'm really glad that Erica is doing fantastic, and she is looking forward to the next phase of her life. A new job, possibly a new town, and a clean, beautiful, healthy lifestyle. I think once you go through chronic illness, one of the positives that happens is trying to maintain the clean lifestyle that you have learned during your illness. And most of us are encouraged to maintain the clean living so that our health and wellness continues to thrive, not just survive, but thrive. All right, so that brings us to the end of today's podcast. Thank you so very much again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye for now. Namaste.
Thank you for joining Master Herbalist Dr. Jody A. Dashore, Director of the BioNexus Health Clinic and BioNexus Herbals, on the BioNexus Health Podcast, where we explore and share information and stories about recovering and healing from chronic and environmental illnesses such as mold biotoxin illness, Lyme disease, autism spectrum disorder, fatigue, Crohn's and colitis, mast cell activation syndrome, PANS, and more. Please help us grow our message by subscribing to our podcast channel and sharing the podcast on your social networks. For more information, visit bionexushealth.com.
Information within this video, audio, or text, collectively known as the podcast, has not been reviewed by the FDA. Nothing within the podcast is intended as or should be construed as medical advice. Information is for general informational and educational purposes only. Consumers of the podcast should consult with their healthcare practitioners for medical recommendations. Seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider. Do not disregard the advice of a healthcare provider based on any information from the podcast. The information within the podcast may contain information concerning dietary supplements or over-the-counter products that are not drugged. Our dietary supplement products are not intended for use as a means to cure, treat, prevent, diagnose, or mitigate any disease or other medical or abnormal condition.